What if I told you there's a natural herb that's been used for centuries to restore male energy, improve blood flow, and even strengthen erections? And most men over 60 have never even tried it. In this video, I'm going to show you what horny goat weed is, how it works in the body, and why it's gaining attention from doctors, researchers, and men looking for natural performance support. You'll learn how it may boost nitric oxide, support testosterone, improve stamina, and help you feel more confident without relying on harsh medications. But here's the truth: most men either take it wrong or expect results that it can't deliver. That's why I'll also walk you through how to take it safely, what the research says, who should be cautious, and the daily habits that make it actually work. And the first lifestyle habit I share might surprise you. Most men never connect it to sexual performance, but it makes or breaks your results. Stick around to the very end, because I'll explain the biggest mistake men make with horny goat weed, and how to avoid wasting your time and money. Before we dive in, do me a favor, drop your city in the comments below. I always love seeing where the glowing age community is watching from, and if you find value in today's video, like it and subscribe. That helps me keep creating these trusted lessons for men who want to age with strength, clarity, and quiet confidence. What is horny goat weed, and where did it come from? Men have been searching for natural ways to improve sexual performance for thousands of years, but few remedies have a backstory quite like this one. Horny goat weed earned its name from an old Chinese legend. A goat herder noticed that after his herd grazed on a certain wild plant, their mating behavior became unusually enthusiastic. That plant was later identified as epimedium, now commonly known as horny goat weed. For centuries, this herb has been used in traditional Chinese medicine to treat fatigue, joint pain, and most famously, to enhance libido and sexual function. It wasn't created in a lab. It grew in the mountains, and it was passed down through generations as a natural vitality tonic. Today, we're beginning to understand why it works, and how it might benefit men over 60 who are looking to restore energy, improve blood flow, and strengthen erections without relying on synthetic drugs. The key compound in horny goat weed is icorian, a plant-based flavonoid that has been the subject of several studies on its potential effects on erectile function. What makes icorian interesting is that it appears to act in a similar way to the active ingredients in medications like sildenafil, better known as Viagra. It's not as strong, not as fast-acting, but it may work along the same pathway, by inhibiting an enzyme called PDE5. PDE5 is the enzyme that breaks down nitric oxide in the body. Nitric oxide is what signals your blood vessels to relax, allowing more blood to flow into the erectile tissue. When nitric oxide is low, or when PDE5 breaks it down too quickly, erections become weaker and more difficult to maintain. Icorian helps block PDE5, which means nitric oxide can do its job longer, supporting stronger, longer-lasting erections. But unlike synthetic drugs that flood your system and force a response, horny goat weed works more subtly. It supports the body's natural processes, enhancing what's already there. For older men whose nitric oxide production and vascular response have declined with age, this kind of gentle, supportive action can make a noticeable difference, especially when combined with healthy lifestyle habits. Horny goat weed also appears to have other benefits. Some studies suggest it may improve circulation, reduce fatigue, and even support bone density. In traditional Chinese medicine, it's considered a yang tonic, which essentially means it's used to strengthen the body's masculine energy, not just sexually but physically and mentally as well. It's important to note that horny goat weed is not a one-pill miracle. It won't replace poor circulation, unhealthy habits, or major hormonal imbalances. But as part of a well-rounded approach, it may help support better performance, naturally and safely, especially for men over 60 who want to stay active, connected, and confident in this stage of life. In the next section, I'll explain exactly how horny goat weed interacts with the body to support blood flow, enhance sexual function, and why it may be especially helpful for men navigating the natural challenges that come with aging. How horny goat weed may improve erections over 60. Most men think erectile strength is only about testosterone, but the real engine behind an erection is blood flow, clean, unrestricted and responsive circulation. That's where horny goat weed may play a significant role, especially for men over 60. As we age, nitric oxide production naturally declines. Nitric oxide is the molecule that tells your blood vessels to relax and open. Without enough of it, your arteries stay tight, stiff, and resistant. In the penis, this means weaker blood flow, delayed arousal, and erections that are difficult to maintain. That's why so many men notice a change in their performance with age, not because of desire, but because the body simply can't respond the way it used to. This is where horny goat weed's key compound, icariin, becomes important. Icariin has been shown in early research to inhibit an enzyme called PDE5, the same enzyme that erectile dysfunction medications target. When PDE5 is blocked, nitric oxide stays active longer, which means blood vessels stay open longer. More blood flows into the penis, filling the erectile chambers more completely and allowing for firmer, more sustainable erections. Unlike pharmaceutical drugs that hit the system hard and fast, horny goat weed works more gradually. That can actually be a benefit for older men. Instead of forcing an unnatural response, it supports the natural chain of events needed for sexual performance. Many of my patients over 60 appreciate that it doesn't create a sudden spike in blood pressure or heart rate the way stronger medications can. It's a gentler approach, but for the right man, it can still be incredibly effective. Beyond blood flow, horny goat weed may also support libido, not just function but desire. That's an important distinction. It's one thing to be able to perform. It's another thing to want to. Hormonal shifts, stress, and fatigue can lower libido in men as they age. Icariin may help by supporting dopamine levels and reducing fatigue, both of which play a role in desire and motivation. Some early studies have also explored horny goat weed's impact on testosterone levels. While the evidence is still emerging, there's some indication that icariin may stimulate Leydig cells in the testes, the same cells responsible for testosterone production. It's not a replacement for hormone therapy, but it may offer mild support for men whose levels are declining due to age and stress. There's also evidence that horny goat weed may help improve stamina, not just in the bedroom, but overall physical endurance. In traditional Chinese medicine, it's been used for centuries to fight fatigue, boost vitality, and restore energy after illness or overwork. For men over 60 who feel drained, stiff, or mentally foggy, this broader benefit often matters just as much as improved sexual function. When you look at the whole picture, blood flow, libido, energy, hormone support, horny goat weed offers a multi-system boost for aging men. It's not a quick fix, and it's not a drug. But for many of my patients, especially those who want to support their performance naturally, it can be an important part of their routine. In the next section, I'll break down what the science actually says, where horny goat weed shows real promise, where more research is needed, and what you should realistically expect from it if you're considering adding it to your health plan. What the science says, is it backed by research? Whenever a supplement promises better erections, more energy, or higher testosterone, the first question I always ask is, does the science back it up? With horny goat weed, we're not dealing with empty folklore. There is emerging research, not complete, not conclusive, but compelling enough that men over 60 should pay attention. The key compound in horny goat weed, icariin, has been studied for its potential to enhance erectile function. Most of these studies have been conducted on animals or in lab models, but the mechanisms are consistent. Icariin appears to inhibit phosphodiesterase type 5, PDE5, the same enzyme blocked by common erectile dysfunction drugs. By slowing this enzyme, icariin allows nitric oxide to remain active longer, promoting better blood flow and improved erectile response. In a 2008 study published in the Journal of Sexual Medicine, researchers found that icariin had a PDE5 inhibiting effect similar to that of sildenafil, though significantly milder. It also appeared to protect smooth muscle cells in the penis, which are critical for maintaining an erection. This study sparked a wave of interest in the compound as a natural alternative or supplement to pharmaceutical treatment. There's also research exploring icariin's potential to support testosterone production. In animal studies, icariin stimulated testosterone-producing cells and even improved sperm count and motility. While we can't directly apply those findings to human outcomes just yet, it supports what many men anecdotally report: a lift in libido, confidence, and overall energy. One reason Icorian is gaining attention is because it doesn't just target one system. It has anti-inflammatory effects, improves blood lipid profiles, reduces oxidative stress, and may even support bone health. All of these are important for men over 60, especially when circulation, hormones, and tissue health are all interconnected. That said, let's be clear about what the science does not yet prove. There are no large-scale, long-term human clinical trials confirming horny goat weed as a definitive treatment for erectile dysfunction. What we have are small studies, early trials, and traditional use cases that suggest benefit. That means it may help, especially in men with mild or moderate symptoms, but it's not a replacement for a full medical evaluation or treatment plan. I always tell my patients, supplements should support your health, not become the entire strategy. Horny goat weed may improve blood flow, support libido, and help with fatigue, but if you're smoking, eating poorly, avoiding exercise, or ignoring stress and sleep, no herb is going to fix that. Still, for men over 60 who want to take a natural approach, especially those who don't want to rely on prescription drugs, horny goat weed can be a valuable part of a larger strategy. But it must be used wisely and with the right expectations. In the next section, I'll walk you through how to take it safely, from choosing the right form to proper dosage, to pairing it with other nutrients that can amplify its effects. Best ways to take it: dosage, forms, and timing. If you're considering trying horny goat weed, knowing how to take it properly is just as important as knowing what it does. Most men I speak to either take the wrong dose, buy poor quality products, or expect results after a single pill. That's not how this herb works. Let's start with the form. Horny goat weed is sold as capsules, powders, teas, and even in blended male enhancement formulas. While teas and raw herbs have traditional value, the most reliable and consistent option is a capsule or tablet with a standardized extract. Look for products that clearly state the percentage of Icorian on the label. That's the active compound. If the label doesn't list Icorian content, skip it. You want at least 10% Icorian or higher for therapeutic potential. Some advanced extracts go up to 40% or more, but they're harder to find and usually more expensive. Now let's talk dosage. There's no universal dose that works for every man, but most standardized horny goat weed supplements for men over 60 fall in the range of 250 to 1,000 mg per day, depending on the strength of the extract. If you're just starting out, I recommend beginning with a lower dose, around 250 to 500 mg, and seeing how your body responds over a week or two. From there, you can gradually increase. Don't make the mistake of megadosing. More isn't better. High doses can lead to side effects like dizziness, dry mouth, nosebleeds, or a racing heart. If you ever experience any of those symptoms, back off immediately and consult your doctor. It's always safer to start low and work your way up slowly. Timing also matters. Horny goat weed is not a take-it-now-get-instant results type of supplement. It doesn't work like pharmaceutical ED drugs. For best results, take it daily, not just before intimacy. Over time, it may help improve your vascular response and libido naturally. Some men do feel a noticeable increase in energy or sensitivity after a few days, but for most, benefits build gradually over 2 to 4 weeks. If you're planning a romantic evening, some men do take it 1-2 hours before, especially when combining it with other supplements like L-arginine, which supports nitric oxide production. But don't rely on that alone. Think of horny goat weed as a steady support system, not a light switch. Another key factor is what you take it with. Some men combine horny goat weed with zinc, magnesium, or ginseng to support testosterone and energy. Others pair it with L-citrulline or pine bark extract to enhance blood flow. If you're considering combining supplements, make sure you introduce one at a time and always monitor how your body responds. Also, take it with food to improve absorption and reduce any potential stomach upset. Your body handles herbs better when they're part of a larger metabolic process. And most importantly, buy from trusted sources. Don't grab the cheapest product on the internet. Look for companies with third-party testing, clean ingredient lists, and a track record of safety. Quality matters more than hype. In the next section, I'll explain who should be cautious with horny goat weed, including men on medications or with certain health conditions, and what signs to watch for if this supplement might not be right for you. Who should be cautious or avoid it? Just because something is natural doesn't always mean it's safe for everyone. Horny goat weed may offer benefits for many men over 60, but it's not the right choice for everyone. As a urologist, I always stress that supplements, especially those affecting circulation, hormones, and blood pressure, need to be used with care and full awareness of your health status. Let's start with heart conditions. If you have a history of arrhythmia, uncontrolled high blood pressure, or take medication for heart disease, you need to speak with your doctor before trying horny goat weed. Icorian, the active compound, affects blood flow by relaxing blood vessels. That might sound like a good thing, and for many men it is, but if your heart rhythm is unstable or you're already on vasodilators or blood pressure medications, you could experience dizziness, lightheadedness, or even an unsafe drop in blood pressure. I've had patients who combined horny goat weed with blood pressure medication or nitrates and ended up in urgent care with severe headaches or irregular heartbeats. It's rare, but it happens, especially when people assume herbal means harmless. Next, let's talk about medications. If you're currently taking prescription ED drugs like sildenafil or tadalafil, do not combine them with horny goat weed unless cleared by your physician. Both work through a similar mechanism, PDE5 inhibition. Combining them may compound the effects unpredictably, leading to a sudden drop in blood pressure or unwanted side effects. This is especially important if you're over 60, when vascular sensitivity is already shifting. Also be cautious if you're on blood thinners, hormone therapy, or drugs for thyroid conditions. Horny goat weed may interact with certain metabolic and hormonal pathways. While these interactions aren't always dangerous, they can disrupt your treatment or create side effects you didn't expect, like nosebleeds, sweating, restlessness, or fatigue. Now let's talk side effects. Most men tolerate horny goat weed well in moderate doses, but some report dry mouth, mood swings, nausea, or heart palpitations, especially when taking too much or combining it with other stimulants. If you ever feel flushed, dizzy, or jittery after taking it, stop immediately. That's your body telling you it's not responding well. Another important point: avoid low-quality or counterfeit products. Horny goat weed is widely sold online, and many products are poorly regulated, underdosed, or contaminated with fillers and untested ingredients. Stick with brands that provide third-party testing, clearly list the percentage of icorian, and avoid products that make unrealistic promises like works in 10 minutes or triple your testosterone. Lastly, I do not recommend horny goat weed for younger men under 40 who are still in their hormonal prime. For them, the risks often outweigh the benefits. But for older men dealing with mild to moderate ED or age-related decline in performance, it may be a safe, natural support, as long as it's used with common sense and medical oversight when needed. In the next section, I'll show you how to make horny goat weed actually work, by combining it with key lifestyle habits that improve blood flow, support hormones, and help your body respond the way it's meant to. Lifestyle habits that make horny goat weed work better. Horny goat weed can help, but it's not a miracle herb. The truth is, no supplement works in isolation. If you want real, lasting improvement in your erections, energy, and confidence, you have to support your body with the right daily habits. And for men over 60, these small changes often matter more than anything you'll find in a bottle. Let's start with circulation. Erections are all about blood flow. If your arteries are stiff, inflamed, or clogged, horny goat weed won't be enough. You have to improve the overall health of your vascular system. That means moving your body every day. I'm not talking about running marathons. A simple 30-minute walk each day increases nitric oxide, improves arterial flexibility, and enhances the way your body responds to stimulation. Next is nutrition. What you eat directly affects your hormone levels, your blood flow, and your performance. Men over 60 should focus on foods that reduce inflammation and support nitric oxide. That means leafy greens, beets, garlic, pomegranate, olive oil, and healthy fats from nuts and fish. Avoid processed carbs, sugary snacks, and excessive alcohol, all of which work against the very systems horny goat weed is trying to support. Let's talk about hydration. Dehydration reduces blood volume, slows circulation, and increases fatigue. Your vascular system depends on proper fluid balance to perform. Many of my patients notice stronger energy and better morning erections simply by drinking more water and cutting back on dehydrating drinks like coffee and alcohol. Another overlooked factor is stress. Chronic stress increases cortisol, your body's primary stress hormone. High cortisol suppresses testosterone, reduces libido, and tightens blood vessels, all of which limit sexual performance. You can't expect any supplement to overcome a high-stress lifestyle. Simple breathing exercises, short walks outdoors, listening to music, even 10 minutes of quiet time each morning. These habits reduce cortisol and create the mental space needed for better physical performance. Sleep is just as critical. Most testosterone is produced during deep sleep. If you're only sleeping 4 to 5 hours a night, your body never gets the chance to restore hormone levels or repair your blood vessels. Aim for at least 7 solid hours per night. Better sleep equals better erections, better focus, and better mood. I also recommend pairing horny goat weed with key nutrients. L-arginine, citrulline, zinc, and magnesium all support nitric oxide and testosterone. When combined with a clean diet and regular movement, these compounds create a foundation where horny goat weed can actually work. And finally, consistency. No habit works if you only do it once. Taking horny goat weed occasionally or walking once a week won't change anything. But small, daily steps, taken consistently, build momentum. Within weeks, many men feel clearer, stronger, and more responsive. I've seen men in their late 60s and 70s regain energy and performance they thought was gone forever, simply by committing to these habits. Horny goat weed isn't the answer, it's a tool. Use it wisely, support it with healthy habits, and your body can begin to respond the way it's meant to. Now you know what horny goat weed really is, how it works, and how to use it wisely. It's not a miracle pill, but it can support blood flow, energy, and performance when combined with the right daily habits. Remember, aging doesn't mean giving up your strength or intimacy. It means learning how to work with your body instead of against it. When you take care of your circulation, your hormones, your sleep, and your stress, your performance improves. That's the power of a smarter approach. If today's video helped you, please like it and subscribe to Glowing Age. Your support allows me to keep sharing honest, expert-backed guidance to help more men thrive after 60. And don't forget, tell me your city in the comments. I'll see you in the next one.